good? Randy? You good? Good evening. We'd like to welcome everybody to the Holbrook City Council regular City Council meeting for August 13th, 2025 at 6 p.m. For a roll call, everybody's in attendance except for Councilwoman Pacheco, who is excused, but we'll be trying to call in tonight. With that, we'll go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Black, followed by an invocation by Pastor Hollingsworth. If you could please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Let us pray. Merciful and loving God, we come before you this afternoon, this evening, humbly begging for your guidance tonight. We ask you to be in our presence, to guide our thoughts, our minds, our actions. Let everything that we do tonight be of love, but most important, to be service for this great town. Lead us and guide us. Give us all the information and knowledge that we need to make good decisions. Dear Heavenly Father, we give the thanks, we give the glory to you as we ask that you watch over our men and women in uniform. Protect them from all hurt, harm, and danger while they serve our great nation in peace and in war. We add a blessing for this council tonight to keep us in your abundance of love. For this is our prayer that we pray in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, item 4, consent agenda. We have the 2 different meetings from the July 23rd, 2025 regular meeting minutes and the July 30th, 2025 special meeting minutes. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to look through the minutes. Is there any questions, concerns, edits? Anyone? Hearing none, we'll open the floor for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the July 23rd, 2025 regular meeting minutes and July 30th, 2025 special meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, item 5, call to the public for non-agenda items.
There are 2 items.
Thank you. All right. We appreciate the public coming out. As a reminder, if you're doing a call to the public for a non-agenda item, you'll have 3 minutes to speak. We'd ask you to come to the podium and speak into the microphone. If you'll just introduce us by your name. We know Joy, but we're going to have you say your name anyway, so in a minute. The clerk, Lisa, will let you know when your 3 minutes is up. And as a reminder, the only thing is council, we can't engage in a discussion, but if there's some need for follow-up, we can ask administration to follow up. And then, so with that, we'd like to go ahead and turn the time over to Rick Fike. You want to come on up? So.
They go.
Go ahead.
I am Rick Fike. I live at 215 West Hopi, and I would appreciate the city's assistance in helping me to get the DOT to decrease the speed limit on Hopi Drive to 25 miles an hour. What my problem is that the way the ground is underneath Hopi Drive, it's that sandy loam, and so before they refinished it, the problem is the trucks go over there at 35, 45 miles an hour, and it shakes our houses. And so I went to the DOT, I talked to the road crew came over, actually shaved the road to take the bump out. He says it's not gonna help, it'll help for a little while, but it's gonna come back, and it did. And they resurfaced it. I went to the supervisor and said, is there something we can do to get this turned out? Well, that will take a study, and we don't have that for budgeted to do a study to get it turned down to 25 miles an hour. I said, but it's shaking our house apart. We'll go to risk management. So what I would greatly appreciate is if you guys could either point me in a direction, give me support. I'm not talking financial, I'm talking, give me city support, because, 7 of the 4 of the last 7 original houses on Route 66 are right there. There's street parking. This is a residential area, you know? So, and the other 3 are down by Macy's. You know, if we can get these trucks just slowed down and so it doesn't beat our houses to death. That's what I'm looking for, just some assistance with that.
All right.
I also, I wrote our state representative, no response. So I'm just hoping anything you all could do to point me in the right direction or help me out or give me support or whatever you can do, I'd appreciate it.
All right, well, we appreciate you giving us the contact information.
Where did that come from anyways?
All right, we appreciate you coming in.
I wasn't sure what that was from.
Oh, it's Guzan or something.
Yeah. I just had it.
Oh, okay.
I should have taken.
So I didn't
it down.
break anything.
No, you didn't.
All right, thank you, Rick, we appreciate it, so. All right, with that, Joy Simpson, you come on up, thank you.
I'm not here to cause trouble, but I want my tie wagon back. And I don't know why they can't come back. Tell me why.
What is it that you want back?
The food wagons,
Food bag?
why can't we have them back?
Can you clarify what that is?
I'm talking about the tie wagon, the tie to go.
Oh,
I'm
the time to
talking
go.
about.
Oh,
Okay.
it's here.
Yeah, I've seen him, he's been going up to the gas station across
Why
from
can't they
Maverick
come
Road.
back here? They put that meter in, why can't they?
So, we're not supposed to engage, but we do have an answer for you.
Oh, good.
So,
I like answers.
so, to clarify, just for anybody, so, do you have anything else in your 3 minutes? So I wanna give you your chance to
Can I
say.
come up there? I can't hear you.
Oh, okay, come on up right here, yeah. So, was there anything else you needed for the 3 minutes? So,
No,
okay, you're good.
I'm not complaining about the 250 and my water
Yeah.
bill. I know.
So,
Just tell me why.
yeah. The Gillespie Park is open for vendors. It's free of charge if you bring your own, generator. And there's a nominal fee for those that aren't. So
But
that's,
man,
so you'll need to reach out to the business owner and find out why
I
they're
don't
not gonna
want
go.
it. I want the tie wagon back.
So Joy, I will be happy to give you a call tomorrow and we'll talk about it. I'll come over and we'll talk. Sound good? All right, 'cause- all right, thank you, Joy, for
Okay.
coming. All right,
I'm done.
all right.
Bye-bye.
So,
It's all I
Joy,
want.
always a pleasure.
It's all I want.
So-
You must live close to me. You live over by Macy.
All right, thank you.
I live across, I live next to the Holbrook Inn.
All right, so,
The Sap House.
okay,
Okay.
thank you, Joy. All right, moving on, so there's no more call to the audience for non-agenda items?
No,
Okay. Item number 6, call to the public for agenda items.
there are none.
Thank you. So, all right, moving on to item number 7, new business. This is a council member appointment. Like I said, I know Councilwoman Pacheco really wanted to be here this evening. Hopefully she'll still be able to jump in pretty soon to listen to the interviews. However, she has expressed already her vote. She has passed it on to a couple council members, so they have that. So with that, let me just give a little bit of background information. Due to the resignation of council member Tammy Wood, the Holbrook City Council is seeking a candidate to fill her term. Per section 2.12C of the charter, if a vacated seat has more than 2 years remaining in its term, the appointed council member shall serve until the next regular city election, which will be next year. At that time, the seat will be filled for the remainder of the unexpired term by election, with the ballot indicating it is a short term. The City of Holbrook accepted letters of interest from individuals who met the qualifications outlined in the city charter. Letters of interest were due by noon on August 6, 2025. So the council tonight will go ahead and conduct interviews with qualified applicants and take a vote. So what'll happen is, we did have 5 people submit letters of interest, which we were thrilled to have such good interest. One person has stepped down from that potential candidacy. So what'll happen tonight is, we have, I believe, the 4 here, correct? We've got Tammy, Jen, Sean, and Troy. Awesome, fantastic. So what'll happen is, hopefully each of you got a chance to look at the questions. We had put it in the agenda, and I believe the clerk sent out the questions. So we had 3 questions to ask. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to answer each question. We'll go one at a time with 1 question each. If we feel like we have enough information and the council feels like we don't need that 3rd question, we'll go to a vote then. So what we'll do is we'll call you up one by one. Would ask you to come to the podium. We'll ask the question. You'll have 3 minutes. Lisa will start a timer for you, and we will go from there. So I think the most fair way to do it at this point was we'll go alphabetical from the start for the first question. The second one, we'll reverse it and go from there. So with that, I should have written them all down. We got, who did I make first?
Here.
Gray. I make Tammy Gray first, right? How's my alphabet? Thank you. Oh, perfect.
And when
Thank
we're
you.
ready, just pass
We'll
those.
pass them out. Thank you. All right, Tammy, if you don't mind coming on up. So, and as a reminder for the council too, so we will just ask this question, let you answer in the 3 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next candidate. The council will not go on to individual questions to keep everything fair, so these are the only questions that will be asked of everybody to make sure it's a fair process for everyone. After we've heard from everybody in the 2 or 3 questions, we have a ballot we will vote on. We'll hand them to the clerk. She will tally them up and let us know who we've got. If there is a tie, we'll go back to a 2nd place. Just for the sake of the audience to know that if for some reason we cannot break a tie tonight, you only have between 15 and 31 days to appoint a new council member to this seat. If not, you're supposed to go to a special election. Lisa and I this afternoon went through the calendar today. We believe if we can't get a conclusion, we can try it again August 27th, but I'm hopeful we'll be able to get one tonight because we really don't want the expense of an election. So, sorry, Tammy, make you sit through and wait for that. So, all right. With that, do you have the questions in front of you? Will you ask the first one?
Sure.
Thank you.
What motivated you to apply for this vacancy on the Holbrook City Council? And what do you hope to contribute during your term?
Well, as you probably know, I've been observing the city and the multiple city councils, the multiple city managers, just the city in general for at least the last 20 years. And I've always been very interested in what goes on and kind of from an opposite point of view, from reporting on it and then just from my own information. And I've always felt like I've got some ideas. There's some things that historically have been done that aren't known when people have changed out. And I really thought that I could bring a lot of value to the council with some fresh ideas as well as knowing some of the history of what's gone on before and how things came to be the way they are. I really want to serve Holbrook. I've lived here my entire life. I love Holbrook. I've seen it do good. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, basically. And so I would like to be part of the progress that I see going on and contribute the talents or the knowledge, the resources that I have. I think I could be a valuable member.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, next will be Mr. Troy Jenkins. If you want, we'll have Councilwoman Tafoya repeat the question, or if you've got it, we'll just keep going. Would you like the question repeated?
Yeah, if you could repeat that question one
Okay.
more time. Thank
Sorry. What motivated you to apply for this vacancy on the Holbrook City Council? And what do you hope to contribute during your term?
So what motivated me to apply for this position is I see that there is a agricultural need for the city, along with a need to sustain, I would say, health and wealth in the food sector. Agricultural businesses actually contribute to a lot of tax revenue that could be gained to help with the city. So I do see that there's a lot of land that's still vacant and available, and if we could potentially utilize some of that land to help those who may not be as savvy as we might be to purchase land, maybe we can help them to accumulate wealth over time
and give them sustainable living situations. I think I would be a great fit because not only am I a man of faith, I believe that when the righteous are in power, that the people flourish, and that's one of the reasons why I am standing up to help support our city here. Even though I haven't been here that long, I have been here not 20 years, about 10. You guys haven't seen me a lot because I do a lot in business here. So I buy a lot of land here, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Sean Layden.
What motivated me to apply for consideration for this position was I was born in Holbrook in 1961, and my mom tells me about the grandeur of what Holbrook looked like back in 1961 when they had a J.C. Penney's and they had all kinds of vibrant business going on. Of course, Route 66 cut right through it, and I understand the history of the highway kind of bypassing Holbrook. But there's been some things like when I first moved here, my parents didn't raise me here, but when I moved here in 2001, just before 9/11, the golf course was a very, very well taken care of golf course. It was a beautiful place to go golf. There's been other things that I've seen that Holbrook has kind of neglected over the years, and I guess the president when I was born was John F. Kennedy, and he said, "Ask not what you can do for your country, but what you can do for your country," and ask what you can do for your country. I really would like to serve Holbrook. I retired from school teaching and coaching, which I was so busy I didn't have time to be on something like this, but back in May of 2024 I retired from school teaching and coaching, and I really want to put some time and effort into improving the community of Holbrook. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Roxanne Ferguson.
Thank you. So I think he stole a couple of my lines because I was going to start off by saying that I'm a third-generation resident of Holbrook, Arizona, and my parents met and fell in love at the Sears located downtown. 50 years ago, Holbrook was a much different place than it is today. And as a person who is a member of the community, but also within my role in the county attorney's office, I've been at the county attorney's office for 16 years. As the victim services director under Brad Carline, I've had a lot of experience getting to know government operations and connecting and networking with various people at a state level, at a city level, at a county level. And I have, with you guys not knowing my full experience, when I first started there about 2012, I took over the director position. I managed one advocate. And through grant funds, ingenuity, and with a modest budget, I was able to expand my program greatly to where I have staff of 10 now. And I also manage a nonprofit organization. And I have learned so much throughout that entire process about strategic planning, grants, development. I know public meetings, I run a board. I know all of that, and I've always wanted to centralize and focus my energy more at a centralized level in my own community, where I can actually make the town I live in a better place for everyone.
Great, thank you very much. Actually, stay there, Roxanne.
Yeah, we'll work in reverse
We're gonna go
order.
backwards now, how about it?
I'll take the next one.
Okay, thank you.
How have your past experiences, personal, professional, or community related, prepared you to serve effectively on the city council?
So my personal experiences would be the fact that I am a citizen. I am somebody who lives in this community. I am somebody who has benefited from it. I have a lot of family roots and ties. I went to school. I'm a Holbrook Roadrunner. I have a lot of people within my generation that I think I could network with and have them more involved here within the city council. But mostly I'm relying on, I'll be honest, my professional experience, which is fortunately provided me a ton of opportunity. I'm part of the Arizona Criminal Justice Commission Board. I'm also part of the Arizona Victims' Rights Advisory Council. I've met with Governor Hobbs. I have a lot of collaborations and networks that I think could be helpful. I don't know everything, but that's not what is valuable for me. What value I bring is I usually can know who can do what I cannot do. And I think that's very important, is to come at this position without an ego, to understand your limitations, and to educate yourself. And I give 110% to any job that I do. I've been thoroughly prepared. I've already read the chapter, the city chapter document. I read basically the strategic plan for the work group that will be taking place after this council meeting, and really just jump in this full force and utilize a lot of my strategic planning ability that I have been able to apply to my job in ways to really see outcomes for the town of Holbrook from beginning to end. It's all good to have a vision, but how can you make that operational? How can you actually apply that and make that a reality for our citizens? And I think that leadership and strategic planning is very imperative, as well as transparency.
Thank you, appreciate that. All right, Mr. Sean Layden, come on back up. Would you like Councilman Black to reread it, or you got it?
I think it was what experience that you had that bring you to this point?
Pretty much.
All right, I was in public education for 33 years. Some of the things I was a teacher and a coach and those kind of things but in 2010, I went back to school and got my ed leadership. And so, having gotten that degree, I worked as a person that was writing grants. It was called PBIS, Public or Positive Behavior Intervention and Support Grants. And so, one of the things that I had to do for those 2 years that I was in that position was write grants for the Winslow School District. And that's one of the things that I could bring to the city council, is looking at federal and state grants that are out there that could help our community to grow and to find some ways to infuse some money into the community. Also, I was big, as a coach, you're forced to fundraise because there's never any money for teams. And if you want your kids to look good, if you want them to have good equipment, I wrote Diamondbacks Chase Your Dream grant and got $5,000 from the Diamondbacks. So there's places that you can reach out to, and businesses and different ways that I could help with on the city council that might infuse some money into this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Troy Jenkins.
Thank you all. All right, so I believe my experience that led me here is I've done several things business-wise. So I'm a brand consultant. I've helped to build brands in the multi-million and billion-dollar industries. Cybersecurity was one of them. We helped to sell a small company called LifeLock. We helped that go public, and then we sold that company to Norton. I'm still in communication with a lot of these individuals. Similar to what the young lady said, I might not be the brightest color in the coloring book or box. However, I will find who might have, the right colors that I don't have, if, that makes sense. I will look to find the solution to the problem. For example, I know right now there's a poverty issue that we have here with the residents, which is why I'm looking towards grant funding for those specific homes that are dilapidated. We could potentially do some type of, let's say, lender-based funding, meaning we help them to build those properties up, and we could possibly get funding to do so. With that being said, we also may be able to utilize that information, help those people start businesses which the city could make tax money off of. So based on my experience in doing business, I know a city is just another form of business. I think that's what makes me a strong candidate for this specific seat position. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Ms. Tammy Gray.
I was born and raised in Holbrook. I've watched it from different points of view through my the eyes of a teenager, through the eyes of a young adult. And I like I'm having trouble speaking tonight, and I don't know why. But I've seen, I think, a fairly full picture of Holbrook, and so I bring that part of that personal experience. I grew up in a family that runs a business here, and so I've seen Holbrook from that perspective, and also from trying to draw tourism in. And then watching the city, covering the city, I've watched things change and grow and go backwards and go forward. I've watched different strategic plans being made. I've watched different general plans come together. A lot of the grants that have come and gone, and things that have, through lack of people, the resources to keep them going, different grants that have fallen by the wayside and things. So I've got that knowledge of what has been. I think that gives me a good experience. And then I have also had training as a reporter. The League of Cities has put on different trainings and seminars and things, and I've attended those as a reporter. Arizona Ombudsman's Office, trainings through there. I'm familiar with a lot of I'm very familiar with the charter, familiar with a lot of the codes. So I bring a lot of that background and experience of just having observed for a very long time. I think has prepared me to be able to step in and get right to work.
All right, thank you very much.
Wait.
Oh.
Aren't you gonna start back over?
No, not with her. So, I thought we'll mix it up in the middle. Won't make her go first twice. So. Or do we feel like the third question was kind of answered in the second question?
Well, she was last on that one, she'll be first on the next one.
I was gonna go in the middle, so.
Well, whatever you gonna do, I don't care.
But is that third question still, you guys wanna hear it, or do you think they've answered it with number 1 and 2? If you guys want it, we'll totally do third question. Do you think it's needed?
Well, you
Go
haven't
for
asked,
it.
you haven't
Okay.
asked the second question yet either.
That was the second question.
He skipped
was
it.
the third question.
Oh, no wonder, yeah, so, all right, we'll do a second question then. Not a third. All right. So let's start with, Mr. Troy Jenkins, how's that? Start in the middle and work our way out. And Vice Mayor Nelson, do you wanna read question number 2?
Troy, what do you see as the most important challenges or opportunities facing Holbrook right now? And how would you approach them as a council member?
What I see as a pressing issue right now is to reach the youth with entrepreneurial type programs, and basically keeping them out of harm's way. When I mean harm's way, sometimes themselves. I live right down the street here. I just seen somebody passed out on the street. We don't want that to be one of our youth. So I see that as one of our pressing issues. The only way that we can deal with that is if we mentor them. It takes a village to raise children. I not just say that because I'm a father myself, seeing that there is definitely a need for children to have the right upbringing. Earlier today, my friend and I, we had to lay a young man to rest, and just looking at the pain in those young children, as well as the mother that was there, it reiterated that narrative for me. it is important for our youth because they are our future. If they don't know what we don't teach them, then that's our fault. We failed them. So I think that's one of the most pressing. The second would be what I explained earlier with the poverty. 21% poverty level right now. It can be remedied. We just have to be strategic about it. I think if we help people attain land ownership, land is not that expensive here, and if we teach them the right things to do and show them how to be entrepreneurial in that, like I said, we could potentially use the trading post or things like that to potentially do farmers markets. We could potentially utilize food sources for the surrounding restaurants here, things like that. So those are the two main pressing issues that I see. The other thing being just the vacant land. I think by remedying one, we can remedy all.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Layton.
Do you want the question again, Sean?
Yes, please.
What do you see as the most important challenges or opportunities facing Holbrook right now? And how would you approach them as a council member?
Well, I think Holbrook is a diamond in the rough. It's a place that I tell people when I go to the valley, I'm like, you guys stay living down here because I don't want one place where I live to grow too big. And we have a lot of opportunities with tourism. I was eating lunch with my wife at Colonel Mustard's. You know, that's kind of one of the new places, so I try out all the new places when they come in. And, there was a couple that was from Alabama, and I said, hey, are you on vacation? And, yeah, I'm a teacher, and we're taking our kids to the Grand Canyon, we're gonna get on the train, and I thought, you know, a lot of people pass through here and they don't really see the history of what Holbrook has, and so there might be a way to make a campaign to get people to stop more here in Holbrook. And I know that we have a lot of people that visit the petrified forest and the painted desert, and they see the beauty, but I really believe that the economics of our community is the challenge, but it's also the opportunity. So I see a lot of the best and brightest kids that we have had go through Holbrook. They leave and they never come back. And it's kind of a shame that you have, you know, probably decades of valedictorians that never end up back in Holbrook. And we lost the power plant, and so we need to find some kind of way to generate interest in bringing, for example, Sholo just got the Amazon thing, I think, didn't they? And why wasn't that here? You know, we have the train tracks, we have the highway, we have better infrastructure really than Sholo has, and yet we didn't get that. And so I think there's ways that we can reach out to corporations and say, hey, we'd like to keep the best and brightest of our kids, and even the ones that aren't the best and brightest of our kids here in the community, and have them be able to have jobs to sustain their families and be happy. I have a son that bought a house here. I got a little grandson that's running around in the park, you know, and I have a real love for this town. It started when I used to ride with my grandmother when we'd come here on vacation. I grew up in Indiana, so I have a fresh set of eyes that are a little different than maybe somebody that's been here their whole life, but I have been here 25 years. So.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Ms. Tammy Gray.
Tammy, do you want the question again?
No, I'm good, thank you. I think Mr. Layden and I were kind of on the same train of thought as far as opportunities. We have the train tracks, we have I-40, we have tourism, we have plenty of water, we have plenty of land. All those things that can bring business in, both tourism and industry, and economic development. So we've got all kinds of opportunities, and I think our biggest asset is the people here. We have some wonderful people here, part of the problem is getting everyone engaged and kind of headed in the same direction. And I know there's been lots of attempts, but I've got some ideas for trying to get the community more engaged, because the council's just 7 people. They can only do so much. The city staff can only do what they can do during their workday. It's gonna take a whole community to get where we want to be. And our other big challenges we're facing, of course, the solution is money. All the money would solve it all, but we don't have that. And I think things like the infrastructure, the blight, the roads, the money that we could maybe have coming in that we need to pursue, those are all some challenges we need to face. And I think the solution to that is exactly what the work meeting tonight is about, is getting that general plan in place and breaking that down into priorities and, you know, a year-by-year goals, and following that plan and adjusting the budget to support the plan as much as possible. And so, I think Holbrook can overcome all those challenges and use the resources we have here and do better than we are, but it's gonna take a lot of work to get there.
All right, thank you very much. All right, thank you, Ms. Ferguson.
So I think the problem with going last is it's gonna sound like I stole all their ideas, because I agree 100% with everything everyone said. I have it written down, I promise, I did not take it from you. I have 4 children, 2 of my stepkids, and then my son, my oldest son, he just moved to Houston. My daughter, Alicia, she just moved to Safford. All of my kids are planning on leaving Holbrook. They don't feel like they can live here and sustain a quality of life. They don't feel like there's job opportunities here. Workforce enhancement, bringing jobs here where people can live a comfortable life. We still can have a small community, because the other cities around us are thriving. Winslow's actually increasing, it's progressing. Snowflake Taylor's progressing. There's a lot of, we can learn a lot from those communities and see what we're doing and bring those ideas to enhance what we're doing here in Holbrook. But more importantly, what I was gonna talk about more specifically, and then Tammy mentioned it too, is I think we could kind of look in every direction in the city and say, you know, our roads need to be fixed, or we need to get a hold of our weeds, or we need to do code enforcement, or whatever that conversation might be. Bottom line is we have to get organized. We have to have a strategic plan, and we have to have ideas that are measurable, that can be evaluated, so we can come back to our constituents and say, this is what we're achieving and this is our progress. The community can be very patient with any progress, because we have just been kind of stagnant, right? We're not really progressing in any type of way. So they'll be patient with us if we can be transparent with them that we're making some progress towards the future. So in my mind, that's the fundamental purpose, is what is our vision? What do we want to look like in 5 years? What are we going to look like in 10 years? And how are we going to create that plan to create objectives and goals that are measurable, that can be reported back to, so we can actually track our progress.
All right, thank you very much. So we appreciate the responses of everybody, and we acknowledge all of the same challenges and concerns you guys have. So we appreciate each of you guys being here, regardless of how the vote. Unfortunately, we can only vote for one, but there's some really good candidates out here. So we do appreciate each of you guys coming out tonight. So at this point, we will pass out the ballots to the council members. You need to put your name on the top, just so we acknowledge that you actually voted. Lisa will do the one for Councilwoman Pacheco.
Can we just take our place? They all sound good. Yes. Can I resign?
Nice try.
We'll just have you all come up.
We got a couple of resignations up here, so.
I'll leave. I'll come down.
All right. Just put it there and then you can. She didn't text me back.
Need to
So I
put a
told her
time
the
limit
guard.
on Karina.
What was it? She texted, yeah, she texted Charlie and I, so that, then I showed her the text, so there's 3 people that have seen it. Arsenia's vote, she did it by text. All right, so what's gonna happen, Lisa, is, Ms. Hunt will, just name out who gets each vote, she'll tally it as she goes along, so.
Okay, I have one vote for Roxanne Ferguson, another vote for Roxanne Ferguson, a vote for Tammy Gray, oops, a vote for Roxanne Ferguson, another vote for Roxanne Ferguson, and another vote for Roxanne Ferguson. So it's 5 for Roxanne Ferguson and 1 for Tammy Gray.
All right, thank you. So at this point, we'll make it official here by a vote we consulted with the attorneys to make sure we were doing this right. So, we'll open the floor for a motion to accept the ballot, the vote.
I make,
Go ahead. I move that we accept the ballot.
Read, as read, thank you.
I'll second it.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Now, congratulations. Thank you. So we're excited. But honestly, we really do appreciate each of you guys coming up. We do have, elections coming up next year too. Keep in mind, we'd love to have you try again. But regardless, there's still plenty to do. Whether you're sitting up here or not, there's still, if you're looking for volunteer opportunities, call me. So, with that, Roxanne would like to invite you up to be sworn in. And I'm going to take your picture. We'll send you the paper. Is that all right? We need to run for a flag of some sort. Here. Lisa, do you want to come over here to be a better background? Yeah, instead of with the TV behind you.
All right, so, and then raise your right hand. I, Roxanne Ferguson,
I, Roxanne Ferguson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the state of Arizona,
of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and defend them against all enemies,
to the same and defend them against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of council member
the duties of council member
in and for the city of Holbrook,
in and for the city of Holbrook,
Navajo County,
Navajo County,
state of Arizona,
state of Arizona,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Welcome aboard. We're going to put you right to work. I know. You'll be home by 10:30. So,
I could tell them, like, do I have to leave?
So, this is actually our sitting seat. You'll be sitting for now over by Councilman Black.
Lucky you.
I don't know
At least
about
with
that one.
film.
Everybody that's been sitting on this side's already moved, so. You're not afraid?
No.
Good.
Yeah, and with her background, not too much scares her.
This is for the work session. And our binders,
And I did print it.
Check it out.
we go by, we have tabs.
Okay.
We are now gonna be on tab 3, correct?
Correct. Let me text our attorney, let him know we're 30 minutes off. All right, sounds good, thank you.
And then I do have some paperwork for you after.
Okay. All right, thank you for that. Okay, moving on to item number B, the Arizona liquor license permit, temporary extension and premise patio permit. I'll go ahead and read the background. Cynthia G. Banks has applied for a temporary extension of premises patio permit at 2210 Navajo Boulevard, the Empty Pocket Saloon, for special events scheduled to take place on September 11th through the 14th, 2025, October 11th, 2025, and October 31st, 2025, through the Arizona Department of Liquor. A diagram of the extensions area is attached. The alternatives here, it says council can recommend or not recommend this request. However, the Arizona Department of Liquor will make the final decision as to whether the permit is granted. So for tonight, we'll just review it. So basically, she's asking for those 3 dates. Well, more than that. So the 3 sections. The first one's through the fair, and then the 2 dates in October. The start time from each of those would be 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. on each of those days. They did have a diagram here where that temporary would be at the extension. So.
And Mayor, Sherry Watson is
Oh,
here.
she is here.
She, on behalf of the Empty Pockets, everybody.
Fantastic. Sherry, do you mind coming up for a minute, and we'll ask a few questions of you, if that's okay? Did you have a question just in general or for Sherry?
For her.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sherry, for being here. We appreciate it. So, Councilwoman will lead us out with the question.
I see the extension here, and I know there's a lot of residential people that live up in that area, and I know at one time they complained when you first did the patio part about the loud music and stuff, so will you let them be aware of this extension and the hours that it will be so they can expect
Yeah, we can
noise?
definitely do that. We won't have a DJ outside, so it'll just be inside, but there will be like loud people outside, so.
I just think that they, you know, if you can let them be aware that this is just on these specific dates and times,
I can totally do
so
that.
then they're not caught off guard and
Right.
stuff. Okay.
So to clarify, will there be speakers out there on that extension?
No.
On the patio? So just people and the
Just what we
music?
already currently have, we do have a little speaker outside, but it's in like the shed area, and so it's not super loud, and we haven't had any complaints that I know about.
Councilman Black, did you have a question?
I do, because there was a lot of complaints last year. I mean, there was a lot of complaints from the residents up there last year, because you have to remember the fair starts on a certain date. Well, people still work, and you guys are, you know, partying. Well, these people are trying to sleep, and they said there was a lot of people that did not want to drive, so they end up walking or not making it home, passing out in the alleys and whatnot. From what I heard from quite a few of the residents up there, they weren't really thrilled with it last year. So now you're wanting to expand it more, and I don't think it's good for the residents up there. I mean, it's good for you guys, but there was too much noise. People weren't happy. So I'm gonna leave that with you.
Yep, go ahead, Councilwoman.
So is your patio currently, is it open till 1 o'clock
It's
every
open till
time?
2 o'clock every night.
I'm sorry?
It's open till 2.
So 2 o'clock? Every night it's open till
Yeah.
2 o'clock? And you haven't had any complaints?
We have not had any complaints given to us.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the night Councilman Black was talking about, because I think most of us got some phone calls that night. So, and it was about a year ago, actually. I think we were down at the league, weren't we?
We were at a conference.
The conference, yeah. And so I do remember that. Cause I did ask, Lisa Hunt to help me, research our codes again, because I know we have these noise ordinances. In section 3.82, section B, it says, any of the following shall constitute prima facie, I don't know if I'm saying that right, violations of this section. Sorry, that's a constructive negation. It says the operation of any device set forth subsection A hereof between the hours of 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. in such a manner as to be plainly audible at a distance of 100 feet or more from the building, structure, vehicle, or area where the source is located. The operation of any sound amplifier which is part of or connected to any radio, stereo receiver, compact disc player, or other similar device, tell how old this is, when operated in such a manner as to be plainly audible at a distance of 100 feet or more from the source, or when operated in such a manner as to cause a person to be aware of the vibration accompanying the sound at a distance of 100 feet or more from the source. It does make me feel better that knowing that you've had these patio extensions for so long, and then at least I haven't got any phone calls. I don't know if the city's got any complaints.
I haven't had any calls.
Since then, so that makes me feel better coming into it. And so I appreciate you being here, because I had some concerns as well. Does anybody have any questions? Like I said, in the end, it's gonna be up to the Arizona Department of Liquor to make the final decision. However, this would still be a motion to accept that we recommend. Is it just a recommendation then, Lisa?
Yeah, that they're asking the governing board to either approve or just, approve or
It will
just
be an
approve this
approval, so.
recommendation.
All right, there, after completion. Well, after completion and at least 60 days before submitting to the Department of Liquor, please take this application to your local board. So we're not within that 60 days for the fair. That's 30 days away. So that's a concern for the fair.
Yeah.
So,
But we do have the other days for Oktoberfest and then Halloween as well.
okay. Right, does anybody have any further questions, discussions before we take it to a vote? No? Thank you, you can sit down, thank you. All right, with that, we'll open the floor for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the recommendation for the extension of the patio. But I do really feel strongly that the citizens that live around there should be informed this is
We
gonna
could
take
definitely
place
let them know.
before it actually
So your
happens.
motion can be conditioned on them
On the
informing.
condition of you informing the residents that live in that area.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'll second that.
All right, thank you. Further discussion, I would also like to see maybe a provision to say, hey, you know, if we get so many complaints that, and I know before that we just got the police involved, they go and take care of any noise ordinance complaints, as long as we're compliant, but that's what makes you guys good neighbors if you wanna come back and do this again, right? So I know you're not in the business to frustrate the residents.
Right, and
So-
we're gonna have extra security too, just like in case it gets too loud and we could have people disperse and go home.
Okay. So we do want to be aware then of that 100-foot, you know, noise ordinance there too, so.
Sherry, how long have you had that bar?
We've had it about 3 years.
About 3 years.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, any further discussion?
Well, I do, so the motion we're gonna look at tonight is, we've already discussed that this is not gonna be in time for the fair, so we're not gonna be worried about this through the fair time.
That'll be up to the liquor license, if they didn't make their timeline, so the liquor license. In the end, all we do is sign a document here, so unless we scratch out the fair, but I'm of the opinion we'll let the liquor license department decide on that. However, that could be an amended motion if this one fails, unless you want to amend any motion to exclude the fair
Well,
hours. so.
if the liquor license wants to approve it, I'm okay with the fair, as long as that other provision that I mentioned is in there.
So motion stands as is, so, okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Motion passes. Thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah.
All right, item C, it's about time for me to pop my glasses on. Resolution 25-23, authorizing the intergovernmental agreement between the city of Holbrook and Navajo County. A little background on this. Navajo County has handled the development agreements with the Snowflake Solar to this point and have offered to continue all aspects of the construction going forward. City staff does not have expertise in this kind of project, and most of the work is being done outside of city limits. Snowflake Solar has exercised the ROW easement agreement and is moving forward with construction. And so this is basically saying, hey, Navajo County, if you look through, there's an actual agreement, there's a resolution, but then behind that is the actual agreement, which talks about how the city's saying, hey, you're taking care of the bulk of it, go ahead and take care of those properties and the easements that are within city boundaries. If you look at the purpose, it says the purpose of this agreement is to facilitate coordinated permitting for the Snowflake Solar Project by authorizing the county to process permits and conduct inspections for the portion of the project located within city limits. So we'd be giving them permission to keep going. They would be able to collect any permitting fees, but they would handle everything. Mr. Sullivan, do you want to add anything to
No,
this?
that's pretty much it. So most of the construction is being built outside of our city limits, between here and or Sun Valley, by Bill Jeffers' land. About a year ago they came, they've done several, public meetings. We worked out an agreement for them to build a transmission line through the LaRue Wash area. That's the only piece that is, going through our land within city limits. They did, activate that easement, so we're gonna get a chunk of money for that as they, purchase that easement going through there as they do constructions.
All right, thank you. And if I remember correctly, it was about half a mile or
Yeah,
so for
yeah.
Holbrook portion of it, so. Anybody
That's
have
where
any-
they changed from a farther north transmission line to a farther south transmission line, so it's actually less land that's gonna be, implicated in the deal.
Perfect. Any questions, concerns?
Is this, I just saw on Facebook, and I know how Facebook is, but that they tapped into the Holbrook water and they're gonna be using all of this water, is that this?
No, well, right now, they're trying to find the water source, so, they're trying to get the water out of Sun Valley, but we don't have a well or construction well or anything like that to get it from Sun Valley, so they're gonna have to more than likely, open an account with the city of Holbrook and get it out of our construction well, unless they find a different source.
But then they would be paying for that
Yes,
water
correct,
if they tap
correct.
into our water.
Correct.
Okay.
Any further questions? Hearing none, we'll open the floor for a motion.
I move that we approve.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to read the resolution.
Okay.
I'll just, sorry, that's all. All right, I'm just gonna do it by heading. Resolution number 25-23, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Holbrook, Navajo County, Arizona, approving the form and authorizing the intergovernmental agreement between the city of Holbrook and Navajo County. Now I'll open the floor for a motion, sorry.
Okay, I move that we approve resolution number 25-23.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a roll call vote.
Councilmember Black?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nilsson?
Aye.
Councilmember Pacheco? Oh, she's the one. Councilmember Pack?
Aye.
Councilmember Ferguson?
Aye.
Councilmember Tupоя?
Aye.
Mayor Smith?
Aye. Motion passes, thank you. All right, item number D, resolution 25-24. Fun fact, I'm gonna interrupt. We're, on track to beat the record, by the way, of resolutions. So, anyways, we'll keep in mind on that. All right, sorry. Resolution 25-24, authorizing the intergovernmental agreement between the city of Holbrook and Navajo County Public Health. I'll go ahead and read the background. It's the right one. For animal control, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so there. All right, Navajo County has utilized our animal control facilities and has updated the agreement. The most notable change is increasing fees collected from Navajo County from $1,600 per month to $3,000 per month. I'll go ahead and start with the resolution reading by heading only. Resolution number 25-24. By the way, for benefit of our new councilwoman, anytime you want me to read the resolutions in full, you just have to request and I'll read the whole thing.
Okay.
That's always Mayor Nelson's favorite. So. All right, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Holbrook, Navajo County, Arizona, approving the form and authorizing the intergovernmental agreement between the city of Holbrook and the Navajo County Public Health. And if you look through again, just past the resolution, you'll actually see the actual agreement. They've highlighted the major changes. If you look at number 3, the county agrees to pay the city a flat fee of $3,000 per month for the city's acceptance up to 30 dogs brought in only by the county animal care and control officer. This fee shall be inclusive of all services typically provided by the city in connection with dogs impounded at the Animal Control Center, including feeding and, if necessary, euthanasia. This fee may be amended from time to time by mutual agreement of the city and the county. Any such amendments shall be in writing and approved by the county's Board of Supervisors and attached hereto. You turn the page to item number E. Talks about the county agrees to dispose of the bodies of any dogs or cats euthanized by the city on behalf of the county. Item number 6 talks about in the event of the city's animal control center is temporarily unavailable for use due to maintenance, animal illness, outbreak, or any other condition that renders the facility unusable for impoundment, the monthly fee charged to the county shall be prorated for the period during which services are unavailable. Number 7, in the event that city staff are unavailable to perform essential duties at the Animal Control Center, including but not limited to feeding, watering, cleaning, administrating medications, or conducting euthanasia, the county may, with town's consent, step in to provide temporary support. Any such assistance provided by county staff shall be done without liability to the county's employees or agents. So those are the highlights of the changes.
Do we euthanize? I thought we didn't euthanize in our dog.
We
pound.
do,
try not
we
to.
strive for non-euthanization, but sometimes it has to happen.
Okay.
I think the last time I talked to Brandon, we were at 97% non-euthanization.
Okay.
All right, does anybody have any questions, concerns about this resolution?
So $3,000 that the county is gonna pay to the city for housing dogs that are located outside of city jurisdiction. So if they're, then the county, animal control bring them in and store them here at our center. And so I'm sure that amount was, worked out as an appropriate amount to cover that cost.
With the county,
With
yeah.
the county?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it went from 800 to 3,000, right?
1,600.
1,600,
16.
yeah, it increased a couple years ago to 1,600, and now it's increased to
So almost double what it was.
Do you know why?
Because Winslow has a facility, Snowflake and Taylor, my understanding is they don't. And then there was a facility in Sholo that was taking them. And that facility backed out. So, and we never got a whole lot of dogs from them anyways. But we said, hey, if you're gonna be potentially bringing us more dogs, then we need more funding. So they agreed to that piece.
My problem with some of that is, if you listen to the people that are involved in that, it sounds like most of the time we're maxed out anyway.
Not on the portion that is outside, that was built solely for Navajo County in those sections. The section inside that has an in and out, that is our main shelter. And most of the dogs that come from the county are stored outside under that addition.
All right, any further questions?
Oh, well, is there shelter out there for them, or you just throwing them in a big old pen outside?
No, there's shelter. It's a pen. It's just built a lot like what we have inside. So there is a awning or overhang over it. So it is a sheltered area in the back.
And we have a limit, sounds like sometimes ours is completely full, so we do have a limit if whatever
Yeah,
limit.
it's like 8 dogs or something like that. But then the faster they get them rotated out and adopted out, our animal shelter is pretty awesome as far as adoptions go, and that's what keeps that moving. So you may get 10 dogs in one weekend or something, but then they adopt out pretty fast.
Well, just recently, they said like they had several dogs that they were trying to get people to, like foster until they could find homes for them and that type of thing. Do you know where all those came from?
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I would have to ask Brandon on that. So there's some months we don't get very much as far as intake, a couple dogs, and then there's some months where we just get overloaded. So I don't know if there's really a huge pattern.
Well, again, like Terry said, just reading on Facebook tonight that somehow the city was involved in 30 dogs outside the
Yeah.
city limits that they were gonna.
I think it's on the front page of the newspaper, but it's on the front page of the newspaper. there.
So, and just so we know, in the agreement itself, number 5 says this IGA shall remain in effect until terminated by mutual agreement of the parties or by either party giving 30 days written notice of termination to the other at the address specified. So in other words, if we find that we can't keep up with it, our staff is overwhelmed and we're overrun, we have 30 days to try something different, so. All right, any further questions, concerns? All right, we'll open the floor for a motion.
I make a motion to approve resolution 25-24.
We have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, we will go to roll call vote.
Councilmember Black,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nielsen,
Aye.
Councilmember Pack,
Aye.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Aye.
Councilmember Tafoya,
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye. Motion passes, thank you. Right, item E, resolution 25-25, authorizing an interagency service agreement between the City of Holbrook and Arizona Department of Transportation. Alright, says the police department is looking for ways to be more efficient with traffic and criminal software. AZ Tracks is software developed by the Iowa Department of Transportation and is used by the Arizona Department of Transportation. If the Holbrook Police Department is able to utilize the same software, information can be shared more easily across other agencies and political subdivisions of the state. I'll go ahead and read it by heading. Resolution number 25-25, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Holbrook, Navajo County, Arizona, approving the form and authorizing an interagency service agreement between the city of Holbrook and Arizona Department of Transportation. And if you look past the actual agreement again, it does talk about this agreement is entered into between the Arizona Department of Transportation and the Holbrook Police Department for the purpose of outlining responsibilities for the use of the software, state standard data entry forms, and associated data files. Central site database, schema, XML, electronic incident data submission, and all associated documentation instructions, collectively hereafter referred to as the Arizona Traffic and Criminal Software. So, Mr. Sullivan, anything you want to add to this?
No, currently we use the same software with Navajo County for our incidents. This is just gonna be another tool that we could use, and it'll actually help the police department do their reports, stamp them, that kind of stuff. And then once cases do get to a certain level in the court cases, then they should be able to draw this through all the other entities, and it'll be all in one place.
So you would put on here that there was no financial implications, so there's no additional
There
cost?
is none. The intent is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th line down, it says, where it is the intention of ADOT to provide AZ tracks to any law enforcement agency in Arizona free and charge, based on ADOT support staff availability and the agency's ability to self-support.
No, thank you.
I'm actually very familiar with this program. So as part of my role in the Arizona Advisory Council for Victims' Rights, we're actually moving our victims' rights to request waiver forms, and they're all gonna, so it's a form, when an officer determines that there's a victim, they have to provide that form to the victim. That kind of makes them legally under the law a victim, and they utilize this software for that. Right now, we're still doing perforated signatures and hand copies, but they're, the AG's office provides those to everybody, but they're actually cutting that from their budget, and they're moving strictly to AZ Tracks as their only system to be able to, for officers to be able to provide that information to victims of crime. And it's very important for local law enforcement around here because we do have limited internet capabilities, and a lot of times these officers are on back roads or who knows where they are, but they need access to be able to get a hold of records and make arrests and access to technology. So I'm very, I am impressed with this system.
That's great. We
Thank you.
appreciate that.
And this was developed by Iowa Department of Transportation, so I bet as this grows, we'll be able to have even more interagencies connected, not just Arizona.
Great, thank you for that. All right. Does anybody have any additional questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll open the floor for a motion.
I make a motion to approve resolution 25-25.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a roll call vote.
Councilmember Black,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nielsen,
Aye.
Councilmember Pack,
Aye.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Aye.
Councilmember Tafoya,
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye. Motion passes, thank you. All right, item number F, National Opioid Settlement. In 2021, Arizona participated in national opioid settlements with several distributors. In 2022, 5 additional defendants entered into similar settlement agreements. The settlement funds are allocated to the county, which must consult the city regarding their use. As additional settlements are being made, the city must decide to participate in them or not. And so we did this recently, a few months back, on a different defendant.
Kroger.
What was it?
That was the Kroger sale.
The Kroger,
This is
and
a
so,
Purdue sale.
and at that time, so this is money that if you accept as a municipality or county, then you have to prove how you're gonna use it in education and prevention and things like that. And so we don't have anybody on staff that can do that. The county through I believe it's the health department probably runs it. So what this would be doing is giving our portion again, like we did before, to the county to run programs still for our region. And so that is what it's for. Let me read the resolution. And
And there will
then-
probably
nope,
be more.
There's not
This is
there's not a resolution. Just, we just have to decide whether we want to, let the county handle this one too.
Do
So,
we-
go ahead.
Do we know how much that is, what the amount is?
I don't have that in front of me. I might be able to pull that up.
And does the county show us what they spent that money on?
So there are reports that the county has to do,
Uh-huh.
and, I talked to, Brian Layton about it, and they are filling those reports out, justifying those costs.
And do we get a copy of those reports?
I have
from
not
city?
seen those.
It says they must consult the city regarding their use.
Yeah, that's just because it's gonna be a pass-through, we're accepting the monies, and then they're doing the educational programs.
We can ask for the county to come do a report on it for us, or at least ask for a copy
Yeah,
of the report.
absolutely.
Okay.
All right, any other questions, Mr. Sullivan, or discussion? Hearing none, we'll open the floor for the motion.
I make a motion to agree to participate in the settlement agreement.
I'll second. You second it? All right, any further questions, discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. Last one for that. Resolution 25-26, authorizing the intergovernmental agreement between the city of Holbrook and the city of Tucson. The city budgeted money for road improvements, of which a chip seal project is needed. Several roads have been identified as good roads to chip seal. Furthermore, the town of Taylor is doing a chip seal project in September with VSS International Incorporated. Scheduling this out in conjunction with the town of Taylor's project will allow the city to save on mobilization charges. VSS International is part of the city of Tucson's cooperative purchasing agreement. The city needs to enter into an IGA with the city of Tucson to utilize their cooperative purchasing agreement. Funds will be spent out of PERF. So in part of your documentation, they did add what streets they were looking at. You know, we were hoping for more, but it gets expensive. So if you look through here, it tells you what streets, and I know, the city staff identified the highest, need along with the highest, usage.
Yeah, so
to come
right
up
now,
with these streets.
most of these roads, we tried to expand, up on Spurlock and Mission Lane, but I had to narrow it down, cause it was, the quotes were coming in too expensive. So right now, this is to get all the major thoroughfares around the schools. So, 7th, and then 7th and Joy Nevin to Navajo, both sides of Florida, 8th Avenue, Buffalo to around the schools, and those kind of roads.
Will that go down towards the junior high as well?
Yeah.
It still looks like a lot up on top of the hill.
That's 'cause I
Um,
live-
No,
Yeah.
we got to pull all of
If
those.
you was there. Councilwoman Pack, you get nothing.
So, oh, this is not the updated list.
Yeah, it didn't look like it. It looked like that was a
Let me
good
see.
one, so.
I mean, you're looking most of this work being done on Spurlock, where their roads are better than most others.
I
Yeah,
think
so-
Throughout the whole city.
this is not the most accurate list.
So, if you take this list, I had to take off Bermuda all the way to Spurlock off of that. And then, the Blue Sage, Mission Lane, and West Carlos off the bottom, so it's basically just that middle section.
Sorry, Vice Mayor Nelson, there goes yours.
Hey, I do have a question about the advantage of being in this Tucson. I mean, Tucson's so far away, but because they're such a bigger entity, will we be able to buy the chip seal cheaper? I mean,
Yeah, so what they did, because this is a cooperative extension, they went out to bid and they got the cheapest deal. So now we're a lot like what we did with the meters. We're trying to piggyback off of their agreement, so we get the same deal that Tucson did. And then they've also done some roads for the town of Taylor already. And if we keep on working together with other entities, we could save on that trip charge, which I think is about $36,000 just
what's
to
the
get the
percent?
equipment up there.
What, we're saving 10%, 15, 5?
You know, I couldn't tell you that unless we go and do our own bid on this and get those numbers back.
But the savings are significant.
I would say yes.
So tonight with this agenda item, there will be actually two votes. One will be a vote for the resolution, which just allows us to go into an agreement to be part of that cooperative purchasing agreement. And then the second vote will be for an amount to actually do these streets. So keep that in mind that,
We did budget $575,000 for projects like this. This number's coming in pretty high, but hopefully, if they do a good job and we're liking what they do, we might be able to do a couple more roads in the springtime. Is what
This
we're
says
hoping.
not to exceed 400,000.
Yeah, yep.
So when is this scheduled, Randy?
So
When was this
this right
scheduled?
now, if you guys agree to it tonight, we hope to schedule it towards the end of September.
I know. Oh,
I
go
do
ahead.
have a question. So when you're chip sealing these particular roads because they're probably in good enough condition to where only chip seal is needed, they don't need to have like a full.
Correct, and then that way you're preserving them, and once you do a chip seal, fog, and overlay with the chips, hopefully you could get 5 to 6 years out of them, and in the meantime, you could do other roads. Some roads are in such bad shape,
Like
you
Joy
can't do
Road.
a chip seal, you're gonna have to do a mill and overlay,
Yeah.
or turn them into concrete or whatever. So these are, I actually met with VSS today too, and kind of went over all the roads that we were proposing, and they agreed that they were in good enough shape to do a chip seal. There are some minor patches that we gotta do on some of the roads, but, so city crews are working on those patches right now, so we can, if this is passed tonight, be ready for them.
This 8th Avenue up to Greer, you know, when you turn that corner up there, there's like this big bubble, you know, that the road is bubbled up right there, will that be gone?
Yeah,
That's
so
kinda
that's
dangerous.
the minor patching that we'll have to do. We'll go and we'll take those out and just do bigger square patches, patch that in, and then they'll come and do a chip seal right behind it, and it'll be a smoother transition when you do that.
Okay, I know that, I've noticed other areas, streets that have that as well, which I don't know if they're in this thing, but I may go for a ride.
If we have any, let us know, report them,
Okay.
and then we could try to mill them out and project them out.
Okay.
Are we required to go through procurement when we're contracting with people to do business like this, or go out to bid? Are you getting like multiple quotes, or how do you know that this
Well,
money?
that's what we're trying to do. Instead of us going out to bid, we're saying Tucson's already did the bidding process for us. Let's piggyback off of their work that they've already done.
Okay.
I say the sooner the better.
Well, the roads need work.
So let's do this for now. Let's take item number 1 first, the resolution. I'm gonna read it by heading, and then we'll go ahead and open it again for discussion. Resolution number 25-26, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Holbrook, Navajo County, Arizona, approving the form and authorizing the intergovernmental agreement between the city of Holbrook and the city of Tucson. Again, this has got the agreement attached to it, so you can look through it. It's the city of Tucson Cooperative Purchasing Agreement. So for now, we're just gonna vote on, do we want to at least enter into this agreement with them? And then we can discuss the pricing and the streets in a minute. Anybody have any questions specific to the resolution and the agreement? Okay, hearing none, we'll open the floor for a motion.
Make a motion to approve resolution 25-26.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a roll call vote.
Councilmember Black,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nilsson,
Aye.
Councilmember Pack,
Aye.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Aye.
Councilmember Tupweda,
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
I forgot to mention this too, by doing this tonight, we'll be able to, add on to a bunch of other procurement, things that they've already done. So there's a bunch of things that they've
Like
already
the
done.
meters.
They've done this in the past. Mojave County used to have one. They don't do that so much more. And so now it's Tucson doing that. So hopefully, there might be some more things on that system that we can tap into.
All right, thank you for that. Okay, so on to part B, or part 2 of this one, the request to spend the funds for the chip seal. So in a minute, we'll be opening up the floor for a motion to approve, or not to approve, up to $400,000 on these streets.
And it's all her funds.
This is all out of her funds, correct?
Does anybody have any questions or concerns or discussion for the second portion here? Okay, hearing none, we'll open the floor for a vote, or a motion.
I make a motion to approve VSS International Inc. proposal in the amount not to exceed $400,000 for chip seal project.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. I'm excited for that. I think a lot of citizens will be happy to see more progress. We're already super excited about Hopi and Navajo and the
Yeah.
zipper, so we got some
And
good things
aren't they
coming.
nice?
They are
Oh,
nice.
it's really nice.
So, all right, at this point, for the executive session, the mayor and the city council may convene into executive session pursuant to Arizona Revised Statute 38-431.03A3 and A4 to discuss and consult with the city attorney regarding the city manager contract. And we will be moving into a room tonight, so in case any citizens want to stay. Sometimes we kick people out if there's only one person there. So, but tonight we will be the ones removed for this. But at this point, we'll open the floor for a motion to go into executive session.
Make a motion to go into executive session after a 5-minute recess.
Sounds good.
No, no 5 minutes.
Does anybody have a
Go.
second to her motion?
I'll second it.
Go for the 5 minutes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, so. All right, with that, so we're gonna go just past Lisa's office to a room in there. We'll be,
You only got city people left.
well, you guys are welcome to come back as we do the general plan. That should be, a good hour.
Fascinating.
Come back and suffer with us.
I did bring snacks. So, all right, let me text Kit and let her know.
So you said she's not gonna be here in person?
No, she will be in her, but I told her not to come too early, so.
Randy.
We're just going into executive session. And the front door will be open. Okay, so,